I was just gonna do a sharpening on this Cruwear Mannix here, and well, I figured I'd just do it live at night because what the heck, why not? So here I be. I didn't really announce I was gonna do this. I don't know if I'm supposed to wait for people to show up, but I suppose for people watching this video later, it'd be nice to get going. So if people show up, that's great. If they don't, then that's that. Now I turn on the comments. How do I do this? Live chat? Going? I can't tell. Is it still going? Hey there, buddy. So this is still working? All right. All right. Hey, Jermaine. How's it going? Thanks for joining. I'm just doing a quick sharpening on Cruwear, and I figured I'd go live. Doing great. Dan. I feel like you're always like my top commenter. You and a few others. Appreciate it. I wanted to do a sharpening in hand with the abrasives. It's not how I normally sharpen, but I've been messing around with it kind of Michael Christie style, mostly to save the little nubbin on these Spydercos. And I do normally cut in a sharpening choil so that it's not as bad as it could be, but just to try to save the nubbin. And I also picked up this here, which is an Edge Pro Gende Nanocloth strop here. I got it in this form factor because it was cheap and I wanted to try out Nanocloth. Right now I've got it loaded up with a 10th micron Gunny Juice, and that's, you know, kind of like the best diamond stropping compound you can get. So I'm still messing around with this a little bit. So yeah, I was just gonna do a full progression on the Cruwear. You know, I'm not even actually sure if I'm gonna use this super vitrified diamond other than just to dull my apex. Wow, that's pretty terrible. Got the Venev stones. And yeah, the main point of this video is to test out that Nanocloth and that 10th micron. I've been using light pressure on it. I've sharpened 3 or 4 knives on it so far, but not a lot. So I'm gonna try a heavier pressure on it just to see what happens, because they kind of say that the heavier... Yeah, I know. You're welcome for that. But I'm gonna try some heavier pressure and see if it just rounds over the edge like I think it's going to do. Some fantastic freehand. I'm really bad at this, just so you know. This rarely goes well for me. I hope my internet connection is doing okay. Phone's been struggling lately here in the garage. What I do like in hand is if you're big into feeling the apex, you kind of get feedback on both sides, in the knife and in the stone hand, so you can feel that apex better. It's nice on these resin stones because there's not a lot of feedback to start with. So I actually like this format for these stones because it helps. And sometimes I don't keep restarting at the heel like I'm doing now. Sometimes I just work it back and forth. But I usually like to check my work when I'm doing this because it's pretty easy for me to stray off my angle. Feels like I've got a burr the whole way. Light up above. Looks like I got it. Yep. Wow, and we're trying all kinds of new stuff tonight. So anybody that's watched my sharpening videos knows that I sharpen ambidextrous. But we're gonna try to keep it all in the right hand today. Just because, oh boy. I'm not sure if I'm missing comments or not, so I'm sorry if I am. I'll check in a second. It's looking pretty good. Can definitely see a burr formed. This Cruwear and this Mannix, these seem to be run between like 61 and the mid 62 Rockwells, which is to say not very hard for Cruwear. They perform pretty well still at that lower hardness. Just checking out my bevel here. I'm actually gonna keep going. It's a little uneven. The way Cruwear feels at this hardness is kind of like it just does not want to give up that front end sharpness that I appreciate. It holds on to it for a long time. It doesn't want to give it up. And then when it finally does, it goes fairly flat. There doesn't seem to be enough carbide volume in Cruwear to give it a really great working edge, at least not by my standards. So yeah, that's kind of my feelings on Cruwear, but I love that front end sharpness, so I like Cruwear. And it sharpens like a sexy mofo. All right, let's just even up this other side really quick. I mean, the carbide volume's not crazy high. Yeah, I was going to check the comments, live chat. Here we go. Oh, okay, here we go. Always ready. But it does, I'm surprised that Rex 121 takes a polish. I'm just, maybe like it gets a brightness if you go after it. I like that. I never look for a great polish, but I like when an edge has a little bit of brightness to it. Hydro tension and hardness. Yeah, the carbide volume, I think it's like 9%, and it's partially vanadium enhanced chromium carbide. But yeah, not to overstrop. Yeah, Cruwear, it's not like Maximate where like you can do almost anything and it keeps that bite in its edge. Cruwear, you got to care a little bit more to keep bite in the edge, but it takes a sweet edge really easy. All right, I think that's enough for me. Oh, maybe not. Just want to even it up a teeny bit. This is my reground Mannix. It's down to about 0.08 behind the edge. It is my best slicing knife by a good margin. It likes to bite aluminum. Oops, I just went way high on my angle. Gotta stay focused. Whoa, wait, what was that? What was that? Mini sheepdogs with 10V. Wow, that's insane what Kaiser is doing. The love for Cruwear. Anthony, I'm not gonna disagree with you. I don't think Cruwear is as amazing as a lot of people say it is. I'm not going to disagree with that. However, I do really like it. I feel like it holds that front end sharpness longer than it deserves. And it just sharpens really well. And that's a lot of what it is for me, is just how it sharpens. It's really nice. And the way I kind of describe Cruwear is it's the ratio of sharpening experience. I'll talk about MagnaCut in a second. The ratio of sharpening experience to edge retention that you get is as good as it gets for Cruwear. That's choiled and unchoiled, $85. God, that'd be interesting for 85 bucks. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know. All right, I did no deburring before going over to the 400 here. Cruwear is forgiving. The 400 is plenty aggressive, so no need. MagnaCut. So S110V, I borrowed that PM2 from Prentice Goodwin, and he's at Goodwin Prentice on Instagram. And he borrowed that PM2 to me so I could test out S110V, and that was very awesome. And he was gracious enough to have bought 2 of those MagnaCut mules and offered to let me take one or check one out for a while. So I think he got that in the mail today or will be soon. And hopefully in the next week or so, I'll have it in hand, the MagnaCut mule, and I'll get to mess around with it a little bit. What I saw from Laren, if you guys follow Knife Steel Nerds on Instagram, is the average hardness according to Sal aching about that, kind of getting down and out. But that's like, I'm just not sure what people were expecting from, you know? I mean, it's not a custom heat treat. It's still a factory heat treat. It's on the high, not the high end, but on the higher end of what Laren had posted for a factory heat treat. And I feel pretty good about the 62 and a half-ish scores. So I feel good about the hardness. I'm excited for the native. I love the native. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. My biggest question to cut, and I do have my assumption as to how I think it's going to be, is how does that edge break down? And this is something I've been talking a lot in like chats and stuff, and I feel like it's not really connecting with people. When will it? Yeah. Is for me, there's more to the steel's story than just edge retention. Obviously, sharpening is important to me, but you know, my internet might be too bad for this. I'm not sure what was missed. Nothing important anyways, but I'll just talk about hey there, about the breakdown of steel edges is, for me, that initial working edge, it's got to hold on to that fine. I hate to say it, guys, but I think this is going to be hopeless with my awful internet connection out here, so forgive me for that. I should have just brought my laptop out. That would have been the thing on my phone. But the kind of working edge that MagnaCut is going to take, is it going to be like Cruwear? Is it going to be more like 154 cm, or is it going to be more like S110V in its working edge? And that's the question. Because honestly, if MagnaCut takes a working edge like Cruwear, I'm not going to be the most interested in it. I mean, it's good. It's going to be good still. We'll see. There's lots to say around it, but the working edge, live chat, come on. Creeley Blades MagnaCut should be crazy HRC. They targeted 62 on their research smelt ones that they put out. Oops. So 62 is not crazy, but they might up it down the line. But yeah, once you get, see, that's just the thing is like I think MagnaCut is going to be great. I think it does kind of replace a lot of steels, but it's still a stainless steel. And when you've got things like Cruwear and 4V that are extremely tough and in the edge retention class, not as tough as MagnaCut, I don't believe, but tough enough. you can get production heat treats, you know, over 64 on Cruwear and 4V. Whereas on MagnaCut, you're not gonna see that. And to me, that is the greatest limitation of MagnaCut. Does that matter for the average Joe? I don't think it does. Gosh, this is a tiny little burr. It's hard to feel. I don't think that 62.5 HRC is a bad thing. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be next level for so many people. But for me personally, not having tried the steel, but I will, that if it was harder, it would be more attractive to me. But I think it's going to perform like the blade that I'm holding in my hand in every aspect but stainless. And there's no rust. Oh, that's not true. There is actually a tiny bit of rust back here by the choil, but there's not a lot of rust on this Cruwear. So for me, that's not a huge deal. So yeah, but I'm going to get some actual MagnaCut in hand, and you will see. Just doing some light work, flipping that burr back and forth here on the 800. Can hear it a little bit, but not a lot. It doesn't sound like there's much there. Not gonna lie, this feels weirdly polished right now. Huh. Does feel like I might have a little bit of work at the heel that I missed. But don't want to spend too much time here, so we'll see if I can work that out on the 1200. Fairly unlikely, but Cruwear is forgiving, and that's what makes it fun. Yeah, so that's, you talking about the Bradford stuff or Spidey's? Because Anthony had me drooling over his Bradford that he got. I really wanted to get one, but it's just like, it wasn't worth it. I'm glad. Thanks. I'm glad that it makes for a fun evening and not just boringness. In terms of performance, Spyderco, okay. Did they do a recent sprint at GP Knives in a Rex 45 from Spyderco? Oh, you know, that's why I became an engineer, to be cool. Oh, jeez. Yeah, well, I'm glad that they can go over somewhat well. I wish my internet connection was better. I really shouldn't do these unless I've got my my computer out here. Huh. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm assuming that Rex 45 is going to be heat treated similar to this one here. Seems to be less bite than my M4s. Nope, come back, come back. Well, shaving nicer. First impression, seems to hold a nice fine edge though, yeah. Yeah. Here, I'll show you. This is a total mess here, but I'm gonna give you guys seasickness. Anthony, this is what I'm working with. We'll see if I drink that beer there. There's my 1x30 with the super grit belts. So that's what I'm working with over there. Just now getting to the HRC, yeah. Well, you went straight to the top with Rex 121. So you're not in too bad a shape here. Yeah. So with the Rex 45, yeah, if they heat treat it the same, which they did, it's really fantastic. It's definitely top 3 steels for me. Maximate, K390, and Rex 45. That all assumes the heat treats that I'm working with, of course. This is when the greatest of focus is required. Is this deburring here. Percent of the time, so we'll see how this comes out. Doesn't feel like there's much burr there. I'm trying to listen now. No. Feel with the finger. Yeah, I can feel it. How do I get that live chat to come back? Whoa, not like that. Yeah, I love Maximate. And Cruwear isn't a slouch either. Like honestly, there's things that are better than Cruwear, but I do like Cruwear. A Kiradashi in 20 CV. It's a great, oh yeah, one of the little stubby things. Maximate fanboy. Yeah, Rex 45. Showed you the way. I mean, I still do like Maximate. I really do. Like, I got Maximate out here in Rex 45 as just side participants here. I do like Maximate. You know, it does microchip though. It really does. But I don't care. It still cuts. It cuts great. It cuts better than Cruwear does at, you know, the same amount of time. I'll tell you that much. I just don't really feel much of a burr at all. A little, oh, there we go. Like on the stones, normally I can hear and or feel, but I'm not getting a ton. Catching it a little bit. I really struggle on this 1200 F stone, keeping track of my apex. It's really easy to not be hitting it, and then all of a sudden to be hitting it like a crazy motherfucker. Sad to hear M390 is not as good as 20 CV. What? You're not talking about my kerfuffle that I had the other day on the S110V video, are you? Oh, now I can hear that burr. Maybe I'm making it worse when I do this. You know what? Fuck it. This is how I normally deburr. Let's do it Let's do it differently. We're gonna do it this way, like I was doing. Just like I was. Okay. I don't know if I like doing it this way. Matter of fact, I know I don't, but we're doing it just to be different. Gotta experiment, you know? Oh, yeah. M4 and Rex 45, which one do you like more? So, assuming the same heat treat as on my two examples of Rex 45, which seems to be between 65 and 67 Rockwell. Rex 45 all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. M4 does take a working edge, and I've been carrying it a lot lately to kind of remind myself. Here's my M4 PM2 to remind myself of that. Exactly the working edge that it takes. So it takes more of a working edge than Rex will, but Rex is great. Wow, that is really, wow. So I'd shoot at that, at what I've been seeing, Rex. Every time. Top 3 steals, not in order. Maximate K390, Rex 45. M4 is not on the list. Okay. We're not gonna do this. This is 4 micron CBN. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna go straight to the 1 micron Gunny Juice on balsa here. And also stropping. This is a whole Michael Christie style video here. 10,000. Oh, hey. I forgot that I had this over here. This is my Rex Para 3 that I've been regrinding. So you can see the 80 grit belt finish on there. And this is at 12 degrees per side, so she was thick as all get out. I've only taken a couple thousandths off behind the edge, so it's still really thick. Progress is good, but it is fairly slow. But that's the one I'm working over there. I thinned out my Victorinox Grand Maitre 7-inch Santoku as my practice knife, and hey, it definitely cuts way better. And it's a cheap knife, but it's a nice cheap knife for a kitchen knife. You know, I mean, it's a German through and through, but I've definitely made it worth. Yeah, be patient, exactly. I'm not looking to really jack up anything, not in a hurry. I just come in here and do it for a few minutes at a time. You know, throw 5-10 minutes at it, whatever. I don't normally strop this way. I feel like I'm being heavy-handed here, so I just feel like when I watch people strop like this, like they're just like bam, 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 just like going after it. So I don't know. All right, and now I am, well, let's just kind of finish with just like one stroke sort of a deal. I mean, this is how I strop on my KME, so what the heck. Yeah, I know. You know, the funny, you know what? I put a pretty decent chip into the edge of this knife. And when I went to go and take the chip out, I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm already going to be sitting here for a long time. Let's just go like all out. And at that time, it was at 15 to side. And I was like, hey, like this is Rex 45. Like, what's the point of having, you know, 66 Rockwell steel if you can't go to 12 degrees per side? So that's what I did. And it's super thick now, so I think it really would appreciate a thinning. So it's a very good candidate for it. So Gunny Juice. It's getting a little bit over refined, honestly. I'm gonna take this down to 10th microns, so it's gonna be over refined. Oh, it's ridiculously sharp. Go big or go big. So you can see that I've taken out enough aggression that I can slide my fingers on the edge and not completely draw blood, but it is slicing into my skin the whole time. So I haven't totally killed the aggression. All right, that was 1 micron Gunny Juice. This is a 0.5 micron Ken Schwartz CBN. And you can see how ratchet that is. It's not nice at all. I need to get myself a legit stropping media for this 0.5 micron. The Ken Schwartz stuff that comes on with the KME doesn't like balsa. That's the long and short of that one. Gunny Juice, on the other hand, you know, I'm not talking smack about Ken Schwartz because obviously he's awesome. And actually, I've got a fun little story about that. Way back in the day when I first got my KME and I had it for a few months, I had messaged him about making me a KME size Spyderco ultra fine stone because I couldn't get one at the time. That wasn't a thing. And so he went out and solicited orders from people in the community, specifically on knife sharpening enthusiasts, I believe is a Facebook group. And other people got in on the order, which made mine less expensive. So thank you to those people. But yeah, I got one of like the first Spyderco ultra fine that you could get in a KME. Now I think you can just buy it straight up. Maybe you can. I thought you could. I'm pretty sure I've seen it in Edge Pro format. But yeah, so that's that story. So thank you, Ken. And I'm sorry that you passed. I still remember he sent some pictures of he was doing some grinding in his workshop without shoes on. He like dropped the knife and it like just wrecked his foot. It was pretty wicked. So I remember that. And now that I think he's decent age, he's pretty old, so that was probably a long recovery. Yeah. So whenever I come out here on the 1x30, I always make sure to wear like actual shoes. I'm not even kidding. So we've preserved the aggression for sure here still. So they still bite. But it's super duper refined. Let me get this crap out of the way here. Yeah, we've all cut ourselves. I just healed up a cut right there that I did. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got out of the good old phone book here. Unless you're in flip-flop. Sure. Jesus Christ. Yeah, thank you, Steve, that you got it. Steve-O and whomever else is on is actually staying. I don't know. Be nice to do something special, but I don't know if I've got anything special for you. Yeah, anywho. I like the feedback. I'm not sure why I just did that. Of these Nanocloth strops. I really do. You can definitely tell where your apex is or isn't with these things. Like once you hit that apex, it just like sucks it in almost. It's pretty fun. Well, we've got a nice shiny edge. Oh, not over there we don't. Oof, inconsistency. On my forward side, that's surprising. Sharp tip, of course. 10th micron. Let's see what the bite is like. Oh, not a lot. It's still there, but there's not a lot of bite. Feels really nice on the apex. I need to do more work at the heel. The 1200F didn't save me. That's not too bad. Yeah, it's not a perfect edge, but not my preferred way of sharpening either, I suppose. That's my excuse. I can say whatever I want. The stars and the moon weren't aligned, damn it. Don't cut my fingers. So that's always like a good test, right? Alrighty. So, do like the Nanocloth. It doesn't round over your edges on, yeah, it's pretty sharp. It's pretty sharp. Dare I sacrifice a hair? Oh, fuck. Oh. Let's see if I can, I really doubt I'm gonna be able to get this whittling to show up. I can't tell which way is with the grain. Is it towards the little strap on the shirt? It's not even hair whittling sharp. After 10th micron. Oh, that's weak. That is so weak. This is why you can't do stuff live, man. Not that I ever really reshoot my videos because I'm way too lazy for that. It won't even whittle a hair. So there you go. You can tell I've blew it. Oh, see, what's the point of going to 10th micron? I had really good luck on M4. It was very hair whittly. I sharpened M4 twice now on the 10th micron. I'm gonna go grab a paper towel or look around for one real quick. Man, that is disappointing. I have no idea where they are. You guys are out of luck. The aggression of the edge. I just don't have any fabric I'm really willing to cut. Yep. No, I'm sorry, man. I think you're out of luck. I'm not gonna run inside to go look. No, so that's all I got. It's not hair whittling, so no dice there. I'm kind of surprised by that. It's super refined feeling. This is what I think happened. I'm still working this out, but I am a believer that strops can create burr. It's not just a you strop burr goes away ordeal. I don't know. That's just best tested. The details, I don't know any of that yet. I can't figure it out. But I am a believer in that. So I mean, in my mind, with all this stropping, I've just drew out the burr. My hope with the 10th micron was that it was so small that the burr it drew out would also be small and not a problem. Let's move this around that side. So that being said, if it did draw out a burr, I would around but not crazy. These ones here, this is a Knife Center exclusive. Give you the light. Don't know if that makes a difference for the camera. Try to get right in the middle. It's really awkward. Oh my God, brutal. 195. Yeah, I mean, definition of overstrop. It still has bite. So, you know, is overstropped when you take away all the bite, or is overstropped when you create a new burr? Or are both of them overstropped and just different categories of overstropped? And that's what I would say. They're two different categories of it. Oh, geez. 155. So I trust that number. It's probably plus or minus 5 on that one. I learned that since getting my best. Yeah. So yeah, glad to hear that you got one. So not that impressive of an edge. You know, I watch. It's a nice edge. It's a nice edge. I do think there might be a teeny bit of burr left on there, but yeah, it's just okay. I mean, it's super sharp. It's super refined. It's probably nicer than what most people are used to, but I'm not super proud of this edge, especially not for Cruwear. I'm doing a heavier pressure. I'm not going to best test it, but I'm going to see how it feels. I'm going to let you know, and I'm going to go. Can't believe it's already been 40 minutes. My wife is wondering where I'm at. Bearing down pretty good on this thing. And yeah, Nanocloth has lots of give to it. So I'm expecting a fully rounded over edge. Yes, that is. Like if I put pressure, it will bite, but that is fully 100% rounded over edge. So, which is exactly why it's been so long for me to get Nanocloth, because I thought no matter what you did, it would do that. Works really good on light pressure. Happy with it in that application. But it'll round your edge over in a second if you get after it. I'm just going to check these comments really quick if I can figure this out, and then we'll move on, and then I'll be done here. Rockwell. Yeah, so the Rockwell is probably like 61 to 62 and a half. Yeah, right. Happy wife, happy life. Someone needs tanned cowhide. That I've got the 1 micron Gunny Juice on it. But anywho, I do want to get new strops, but whatever. But anyways, that was me sharpening it. Not that impressive of a result. It is very sharp, that's for sure, but not as sharp as we like it to be, us wild, weird sharpening nerds. So I appreciate you guys for watching and hanging out with me, especially through the internet interruptions. But that's all I've got for you. Have a good one. Bye. Now, how do I turn this thing off?